Hey everyone. Well, a lot of us are, have payments we got to make. We got to take care of business and stuff. For us being homeless for 8 months now, it's cost us a fortune, to exist. My daughter can't handle sleeping in a car, and my car is very tiny. It's a Honda CRV. These things are tiny. 4 people in a tiny CRV. No, it doesn't work. We tried that one night, and the kids couldn't stop complaining or crying. So we've been doing motels. Nothing fancy. We've largely Motel 6 and stuff. And it's still expensive. Eating out's expensive. Going to a drive-thru is going to run us $40. Doesn't matter what time of day. We're currently staying at a place that we've got our own microwave to work with, so taking a break from fast food and actually going to a market and buying microwavable stuff is still not great, but it is what it is. So, as it stands, coming on the weekend of the 13th of March, my big headaches, this is my absolute biggest headaches right now, is I'm a month behind on my big storage. That's $930, plus we're gonna have to pay late fees. Come the 15th, I am gonna be 2 months behind and potentially legally no longer in control of my own assets. Now this is 95% of everything I own, okay? Family photos, all my music equipment, furniture, you name it. And stuff that can't be, some things that can be replaced and a lot of things that can't be replaced. And I'm just frustrated to no end that, it's like right now to free it up, it's gonna cost me $2,000 practically. Right now if I get $1,000, I can at least stall them for another month. Because potentially we might be able to move into a new place in 3 weeks over at Las Palmas. We've got a sweetheart deal with a landlord over there and their manager, who likes us, and they're queer friendly and trans friendly, and seem to be the only people willing to rent to us if we can up our credit score. So here comes headache number 2. Headache number 2 is, a year before we lost our place to live, we got behind on rent. We had way too many bills, and as a result, in order to keep from being evicted, we borrowed against our car. And I was very opposed to this. I did not want to borrow against our car. My mother told me she didn't want me to have that car because she knew at some point we would borrow against it to try not to get evicted, and I'd lose the car. And then I'd still be homeless. And sure enough, a year later, that's what happened. Well, I made the rude discovery that no payments have been made, so guess whose car is out for repossession if I don't make fucking payments? I'm about that close, and I'm scared about that because we only have one vehicle, and my kids go to schools that are not close to each other or not close to us. And so one of the big things that, these places that we've been trying to apply for, they've been up in the credit score ridiculously. They keep setting the bar back because they don't want to rent to me. That's the thing. It's not so much they don't want to rent to my wife, but her credit score is not perfect. We went from a 420 something and we brought it up to 595. It needs to be above 600. So if we're able to pay that $3,000, then we would up that credit score at least, and then I wouldn't have to worry about repossession. But right now, my top priority right now is I got to save my storage. I can't lose that. If I lose that, I'm fucked. Birth certificate's in there, all our important documents are in there, a lot of things are in there. Not to mention, there's some of my better clothes are in there, along with my music equipment, computers, everything. This would be a fucking tragedy if I lose that shit. And so that's headache number 2, and I don't have a lot of time to do that. So I've got a few days to save my storage, if I can raise $1,000, which I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do that because we've lost our two big donors. We have one person that helps out almost every week. Great guy, but he can't dole out $1,000 at a time. we're lucky if he sends us, $50, and some days he sends us, 100, here and there, and he's been very consistent. So I don't criticize the amounts, whether he spends large or small, because hey, I'm thankful for this guy. This guy's bailed us out a lot. But the thing is, he cannot carry us by himself. And every now and then I get some small donors, and I really appreciate all of them. But I need I need some big donors, to save me out of this. So that's headache number 2. So we've got 2 weeks before we apply for this apartment. And if we were somehow able to pay off that $3,000 we owe on the fucking car, then we can opt the credit score, and then I don't have to worry. I'm certain we would get into that apartment. But headache after headache after headache, and then next week I think it's going to be another hell week where we got to pay rent on the office. And if that comes to me, that's $600 that eats up the whole fucking paycheck, pretty much. And then that means for 6 nights out of the week, for 1 week, we'll have to keep begging everyone to help us, keep a roof over our head. And this last time was so white knuckle all the way to the last minute, every day, fearing we have to pack and flee. I mean, that's a lot of fucking stress. And right now, with donations drying up, it's just like donations drying up. It's very hard. It's very hard, and I'm just. I'm going through, I have a lot of anxiety attacks. I take a lot of medication for that. And, this constant fundraising is just one headache after another. Well, meanwhile, while we're hemorrhaging money, I've done something at least about on the food stuff, because, it's costing us $100 a day almost just to eat, 4 people. And I brought it down to under 30 right now, so long as we got access to this microwave. But it's still not good food, but better than drive-through. Drive-through is just killing us. And there's fuel. The other big hemorrhage. My CRV is old. It's 2012, and it's only given 14 miles a gallon. I gotta drive all over the place, and I'm spending $20 almost a day to operate it, and it needs repair. On top of that, I gotta pay the fucking registration. That's $300. My mom gave me some money for my birthday, but already I went to the goddamn motel and survival, and I'm just fucking upset because now I don't have it. And in about a month or so, if I get pulled over because I don't have the tags, and they see I'm trans, and God knows what fucking problems I'm gonna have. So this is called the headaches and the hemorrhaging for a reason. And I'm so exhausted from all this anxiety. This is 8.5 months of this. Constantly having to fundraise and, just beg people for help. And some people are pissed at us, and some people criticize us, and some people are just, love to help, but they've run out of money, or they're just exhausted, or just don't see any point because we can't seem to get a place to live. Well, I didn't know. I thought it was all about the credit score. That's a half truth. But it's been largely because it's some kind of strategy. I don't know if it's really directed from the White House or not, but it's like the strategy is evict the trans people, make them homeless, then deprive them of their driver's license so they can't maintain a job. Then they're really fucked, and because Trump has made being homeless illegal, if he could force it, he will try to have us imprisoned so we can, be forcefully detransitioned. That's not gonna fucking happen. That's not gonna fucking death before detransition. I guarantee that fucking thing. That's not gonna happen. So these are my headaches. These are things I worry about. And there's been no let up. But my only light at the tunnel is this possibility that we can move in 3 weeks, which means after this next hell week, there'll be no more hell weeks, because we'll turn in that office. That'll eliminate $600 payment, and if we can eliminate the 2 storage units, then we're not paying $1,400 a month in storage. Because right now I just don't have it. I just barely got enough. We covered we're going to be covering Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday. That's gonna all be the nights we're gonna be able to pay for, and then come Monday, I gotta start begging you guys for money, and I don't like doing that. And it goes on all the way till Wednesday. So those 3 days, I mean, we had to do it this week And it was nerve-wracking because we didn't make it on one day, and we just happened to be able to find someone that would let us borrow, the funds we couldn't raise. But I gotta pay these people back. So it's just one thing after another. Again, headaches and hemorrhages. Anyway, that's been my rant. That's what the shit I got to deal with right now, and I'm hoping that if we can get this place, in 3 weeks, we could start. We could save all our shit maybe, and just maybe, we'll get through this, and we won't have to ask you guys for help anymore. And I can just go back to talking about trans issues and goth music history, and death rock stories, of the old scene. That would be more fun. I would like to. Not to mention that, but I got a lot of music videos I got planned. I was supposed to make, but couldn't do it because this has stolen 8 months of my life, and I'm not going to get those 8 months back. And I'm not young, I just turned 58. I was supposed to have my breast augmentation. I was supposed to get my fucking facial surgery. I was supposed to get my laser. And none of these things I'm able to do because I have to fucking spend all day fighting for survival. I may lose my chance to get my surgeries. When I detransition, I had my breasts halfway deflated, and they were just large enough that they were giving me a lot of death threats and a lot of harassment. And so foolishly I thought, well, it's too late, I'm never going to be able to come back, and was very depressed. And I got convinced that maybe, just maybe, because I was getting so much harassment, maybe if I got a breast reduction, the harassment would stop. So I did. It cost me a lot of fucking money. And they botched my fucking breasts. They really fucked them up. And they fucked up my nipples and fucked the whole thing up. And now I have these deformed breasts. And, they're not pleasant to look at. And I hate looking at them. I want to get them fixed. I got this one chance to do it for free. Through my insurance at least. And that time frame to get it done it's going to end quick, soon, if I don't have a place to recover from. So this shit has to end, and it has to end one way or the other. I thank everybody for their patience, their love and support. You guys have helped us so much, but I just want to share with you what headaches I still have to contend with. This is aside from the day-to-day, because every day has been a fucking struggle. I'll get 2 days this week. I'll get Thursday and Friday. I can chill out and don't have to ask anyone for money and stuff. So you may not even see me on the internet, but I get those 2 days. But the rest of the week, it's all white knuckle for me. Anyway, that's been my rant. That's what I got to deal with. I've got to come up with a shitload amount of money. I've got to come up again, at least a minimum of $1,000 for my storage. I got to somehow miraculously in 2 weeks come up with $3,000 for my car, so I don't get repoed, and plus we get up our credit score and guarantee we'll get that place in 3 weeks. I don't know how the fuck we're gonna do it. I don't know. By chance you're rich, want to help us out? Hey, great. Would love that. Oh God, would I kill to have another Nikki Peterson in my camp? Well, rest in peace, lady. Appreciate you. Love you all. Thank you.